They want to just sort of see it.
We are live. Sorry about the technical difficulties on my channel. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's just black and turns and black and turns.
I don't even see the chat.
You don't see the chat?
I don't see no. How do I do that today?
We are pitiful. I am pitiful.
Oh my God.
I don't even see it. Oh, here it is.
Oh, it's giving me like choices.
Okay. It shows you and your dog as far as the live icon.
Okay, I have comments. No, I don't see anybody here. 1, 2. If you're here, put a 1 in the chat. I'll say that. Are we really? So we're live on my channel now? I don't even know what's going on. All I saw was that black screen and the little white circle going.
Yeah. So we're live on your channel because some reason my channel doesn't want to work this morning.
I thought it was YouTube. I mean, StreamYard. Because I thought maybe.
That's what I said. I said, well, let me try to get in on Suzy's channel. And it
maybe post-Christmas, like people were.
I'm going to go back to my channel and just put a note in the chat again.
All right. Well, good morning, whoever's here. I see Angela. Hi, Angela. How are you? Hi, Angela. Hi, Dawn.
Hey, Ashley. Hey, Angela.
I'm going to try to find me on YouTube now. I still had up the Yule log. In New York, they used to have a Yule log from Gracie Mansion, which is the mayor's house. And they would just play like real old-timey Christmas songs. And one of my friends from New York really, really loves it. So I gave him the link because they have it on a YouTube. Hi, Angie.
Hey, Angie. How are you? I was having some technical difficulties on my channel. So we had to switch over to Suzy's. I don't know why. We tried to get in and it was just a black screen for both of us. So I'm not sure what's going on. My bill's paid. So
I can't even find myself.
Wait, that was the first thing I would check to see if there was a problem with,
phone.
Billing or something.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even get a chance to do hair, lips.
Don't call attention to your flaws. You're beautiful.
Oh, I am.
You honestly, can you tell that I don't have? I mean, you can tell I don't have mascara, but I'm not going to say it. I just said it. Anyway, how do I find Anthony? I'm pushing live. I'm pushing latest.
It doesn't have our dog house icon on it. I didn't have time. I just hurry up and made it. So it has you and Roxy, I think.
Oh, this little doggy here, like that?
Yes, that's it.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance to put the thumbnail. Oh, you're sweet, Angela.
That's nice. Yeah, she's always beautiful. Oh, I'm not going to say anything weird because like when people say no offense, everybody gets offended. You put lipstick on and you hope for the best. It's like,
you're right.
Sometimes the lighting, you could have the best makeup job in the universe. And if the lighting is crappy, or if something's like coming straight, like sometimes if the light is shining right like this, it's terrible.
Well, I'm glad it's cloudy out, so I don't have the sun coming through the window.
The front face window is not bad. And sometimes side, but like straight above your head, it for me, it'll show like all the stuff I don't want.
Well, considering I didn't make the thumbnail till like 10 minutes before the show, Sean's like, Mom, can you stop and get me a biscuit? So I'm like, I'm in the drive-thru at McDonald's making the live thing.
Well, I can't even get on our own live.
Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know.
I could not get on our live. This is driving me nuts. Oh boy.
Sean's trying to set up his new TV.
Now
he's having technical difficulties.
We're really, really technically our lives. Anyway, I'm still wearing the Christmas sweater because I feel like
technically it's still Christmas until what, the 6th? You know.
Tony thinks it's if you're doing the Advent I think we have, is it January 5th? If you go by like the
I think
Greek.
it's the 6th. Hey, Denise.
See, there's Greek and Russian here, and they're like off a week or two in certain calendars. I'm not saying that they're off
Uh-huh.
at all. I'm just saying some of the ancient calendars, if you go by them, it's not the same as
Right.
as like 2024 America's calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Angie, the baby's adorable, girl.
Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Ashley.
Jennifer. I know, Jennifer.
I
I was telling them I stopped to get Sean a biscuit this morning, and I put it up. I didn't realize I hadn't finished my thumbnails. I know, I'm sorry. And then we tried to get on my channel and it didn't work. So then we had to pop over to Suzy's channel. So I don't know what's wrong with mine, but it was just a black screen with a buffering sign.
It's like buffering, but it was chasing its tail. And I thought I made Tony go off all the like my stuff. I said, like, just shut it down and maybe it's me. And when you said you were having issues, I didn't want it to be. I wanted it to. I thought it was StreamYard being down.
Yeah, I don't know,
but it's not down. The dogs are having a major like fun fight. I feel. You know how they play funny.
Mm-hmm.
We have painting stuff back there, so if it looks odd.
I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas.
I do too. I hope everybody had happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, I hope you had fun anyway. I'm just saying, some people don't celebrate, and some. I was on a different website, and people were sad and talking about how they were sad about like, oh, this year I'm alone, or this year I'm only hanging out with my cat, or this year my cat's not even around, and So one guy was saying, I'm actually happy to be alone because I can watch any show I want to watch. I can take a walk, I can eat what I want when I want.
Right.
And I'm like thinking, all right, make the best of it. I always say, like, when you're an adult, you can eat cake for supper if you want. I don't know. It's not, maybe your doctor doesn't
cake for breakfast.
But
don't tell Jennifer. We already told her. I know. Sean goes, well, you already told her. It was a pound cake. It didn't have like all kind of stuff. Hey, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. Yeah, sometimes when I'm gonna say it, like we didn't go to Christmas with the family. We just stayed here, and I put on. I mean, we do like everybody in our circle it's multicultural, I'll say. So I call it like Christmas Hanukkah. So there's, everybody. Not almost like even the kids from the like Judeo-Christian background, they'll do both, and I'm like, I'm okay with that if that's what they want to do. But we stayed here. We had a power outage. We were getting cold. Our neighbors from up the hill dropped off a little package with some like goodies in it. We dropped something off at their house. I had not met them, and they rescued us. They brought down the generator. They told us what was wrong with the electricity because the fuse outside was busted, and we called the electric company, and even someone came within an hour. It was fantastic.
Nice.
So nice of them. And I mean, they're old people, like not like ancient old, but like bordering on they're not going to be able to lift a generator into their truck soon. I feel
right.
Like that kind of old.
That's
anyway,
awesome.
So yeah,
awesome that they're old. Awesome that they came to your rescue.
The day before we met another, and they're all related. So the lady who stopped by, her brother has a house down the road, and we met him, and he was so nice. He's like, come in, do you want coffee? Sit in, look at his view of the mountain woods, and he watches the birds because he has a bird feeder by his window, and he's like 80, and he's the guy that plowed art. He's so sharp as a tack. Anyway, it's nice.
You need help.
It was just nice to meet everybody, and they're very, very neighborly in the good kind of way. Hi, G. So anyway,
Hey, G.
I was getting a little worried. And then, I posted it on Thread, the story. And people were writing, maybe you want to get a generator. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe you want to give me $6,000 that I need or seven.
I know, right? They're
You know,
expensive.
I mean, till you get it, like, you could buy one for 7,000, but you have to install it. That costs probably another 3,000 in this world. My husband says, plan on spending half of what the item costs to get it installed usually.
Yeah. I'm
So
trying to take a picture of the bottom of my Wi-Fi so I can get the password for Sean.
so I'm telling people, I told people it's on my list. There's a long list. But anyway, unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, it was an easy fix. A squirrel knocked out our fuse. And I don't want to say the rest. But anyway, aloha adventure, Shelby.
Hey, Shelby. Shelby, I'll take like 10 of the coffee, honey.
This one.
Oh, she's serving fried steak with gravy too at hash browns toast. That's nice. Anyway, I just felt like when we were sitting there and we could put the fire on and I just felt like I don't feel as alone over here in the middle of nowhere. Or in what we were calling it the edge of nowhere. Now that I know two neighbors, I feel like I can knock on doors if I have to. If I have to. The guy said, she's not paying attention.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to help Sean set up his TV.
The guy said, he goes, if you have any problems whatsoever, he goes, call us. He goes, if we can help you, we will. He's like, we might not be able to, but if we can, we will. And I thought, that's very sweet and nice.
That was nice.
And the people who lived here before us said, she goes, I've called my neighbors many times when I've gotten stuck, like in the mud or something. They have more powerful equipment up there. They maintain the roads. These two brothers brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have equipment that they can, like, if you get stuck somewhere, they can pull you out of the ditch or
Cool.
whatever.
Yeah.
So
People are discombobulated today.
One of the guys has something that I had never known about till just a couple weeks ago. They have these furnaces that are outside the house that you could stoke with the wood. I know I probably mentioned it another time, but I felt it. If the house felt so warm, all he says is, I think like maybe 3 times a day, he has to put a little bit of wood in there, and it heats the whole house. It was so kind of neat in a way. It's a lot cheaper than oil and electricity, although he still has electricity for other stuff. I want to shut this door, but the dogs keep going in and out to play. Hold on.
It's a little bit cool in my office. It's probably warmer outside than what it is in here.
Why is there so much?
I had shorts on all day yesterday. It was and then it started getting cooler in the afternoon.
Oh man!
They had all the kids over for Christmas except John because he's on the boat in Missouri.
The dogs are unstuck their toys, and it looks like
I don't know what that is.
I thought they outgrew that at some point in their lives.
Oh, and we had all the kids except John. So, and we were like sardines, like squeezing past each other in the house. So,
yeah, how was Christmas for you? We didn't talk.
It was good. It was exhausting, but it was good.
It's like the way you said it was good.
It was just, we were kind of all squeezed in. I know Mama was a little frustrated that her house wasn't bigger. I said, Mama, we've been doing your little house since I was 11. So we managed all those years. We'll manage now,
A lot of people have a lot of I want to say like external pressures that are not necessarily. Some people, some people are hung up on everything being perfect. Some people are hung up on their personality doesn't like to be around people.
Right. And
It's
she
hard.
likes to be everything perfect in her house. And since we're there, our stuff is everywhere because our house is small. So I know that's like driving her nuts. But
I mean, I understand. If I don't always like make the effort to make things perfect, like neat or clean or tidy. But if I do, I want it to stay like that for at least an hour.
right.
I really want it to stay for like a day or two. But I'm if I just open up, like, let's say a shopping bag from a store, the table could get full in 10 seconds. And if I do art, it's the same thing.
Right.
And we were looking like crazy, like we lost like our one of our flashlights and we couldn't find it. And I don't know. And I'm thinking, did you leave it in the field when you were looking for something? I don't know.
Right.
It's just
Shelby, I'll take the toast and coffee, honey.
It was nice to just be here, and I just put music on and we had the fake fireplace going. And I did decorate a tree, so we lit up the tree and I went on the internet like I like to do. And I don't know what he was doing, but he did stuff. And then at some point he pulled out his bass and we were playing along to the music kind of, and it's fun. I mean, it was nice.
Yeah.
But it was especially nice to have heat. That was really nice. Because when the lights went off and the heat went off and the internet went off except for the cell phone, I was trying to plan my day. It felt so like awkward here. And I thought, I'm going to have to go to in my car, go to the gas station that's open and just drive around because it's sad, but I'm so used to listening to someone talk or having heat.
Right.
That's how I would have to do it.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Well, it rained all day yesterday. And every time Bella would run out the door, she'd come back soaking wet.
Oh, brother.
And you know what a wet dog smells like. It's like
sometimes I don't mind the wet dog smell. Sometimes it's pretty horrible. I think when it's like your own dog, you get kind of used to it. You get nose blind. And then when you smell other people's wet dogs, it's like,
right.
Now my dog is like giving me the noise. It's like
Precious was going crazy when we left because she wanted to come, and I'm like, I have my migraine infusion this afternoon.
All right.
So yeah, I couldn't bring her.
I don't know. Sometimes you could stick dogs in a tote bag, but not always.
Yeah, well, it's like, hey Jane, it's this little infusion center, and there's a lot of cancer patients in there and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
When my mom was getting her chemo, this couple came into the waiting room, and they looked like they were dressed up fancy, but they both he had cologne and she had perfume, and I smelled them from like 30 feet away. I mean, when you have cologne that you can smell 30 feet away and people are going to get chemo, I find that it was hard to deal with because I'm allergic. I'm perfume allergic. So I wasn't even getting the chemo and I was getting queasy. So I can't imagine the people waiting.
Right.
I told the nurse, I told the people at the reception and the nurses, can't you at least ask people to just not have smells for that day? Because it's kind of imposing. Anyway, I suppose a dog wouldn't. Some people would probably love it because it would take their mind off what would be happening.
Right.
Like therapy. But, if you're scared of a dog. I'm very sensitive. Oh, my gosh. I stopped going to the movies on Saturday nights back before COVID because of the smells. Everybody had to put on their like date night perfume. Really? I would want to sit in like as far away from humans as I can. So when they started streaming movies in the house, which, that was a relatively new thing for me, really. Right. I love going to the movies, like to the movie houses, the theaters, the cinemas. and seeing like a big screen movie. And I did it usually like once a week. Now I don't ever. I mean, I don't even want to.
Right.
I think we're
You know, when I worked as a nurse, I never wore perfume. We were taught in nursing school never to do that. And some of these young nurses would go in there with so much perfume, it was nauseating. Oh, it was horrible. I mean, I'm not saying they smell bad, but not for somebody who's ill.
Even for me, I had cologne. Like I had some scents that I liked, but if I, just like a casual sniff, I go, I like the way that smells. But if I put it on, I'd have to go in and wash it off. I once drove off the road because I started getting like dizzy from it.
Yeah. Some people put too much. Exactly.
Like I kind of think like, you know how it is if you go like this and you smell your hair and you could smell a touch of fragrance in your hair, but it's not noticeable when your hair is like over here. That's to me as much as it should be. Just like very, very, very simple. Hey, Tony.
Hello. Hey, Tony.
Well,
we got a That's good.
We said hello. Yeah, now he's groaning.
I got to do inventory too. I don't even know where to start because
dogs are unstuffing toys. They've become destructive in their older age. More work for us. I took the toy away.
Merry Christmas, Tony.
Merry Christmas, said Tony. Dawn said Merry Christmas. He said same back.
Well, actually, Debbie did.
Oh, Debbie. Well, he said same back.
Right.
He gets he gets flustered when people talk to him. I swear he's like well, he's not like that, but he's like, I'm like, just say thank you. It's kind of funny. Do you saw the video that he made? And he's like,
it's awesome.
And he's like, I might have to be. What did he say? Something like I might have to actually.
He says I might become social or something like that.
Sociable, and he goes, yeah, right.
I don't think so. I forgot exactly what he said. But when Marie was watching it, and she bust out laughing, and it was at that part.
I laughed at that part when I saw that. That was really funny.
Well, I'm glad you're back, Jennifer Hayes. How was your Christmas, Jennifer? I know you were dreading it. I know, aren't they cool?
I was thinking what Jane said, like, it should be so subtle that people should have to come by your neck to smell you if they want to smell you.
Well, I don't know if I want people in my neck.
Well, no, but maybe, you're on a date and you want that. But, like, I don't want to smell you from across the room. That's for sure. Right.
Exactly.
Oh, and then there's this, like, time frame where guys think that if they put on cologne that women will be attracted to them. I mean, I think, like, remember those Axe commercials?
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to, like, make a public announcement and say, boys, it's not true. Just take a shower, put on some deodorant or maybe powder or something, and then go out. You don't have to smell like the department store.
Right. If y'all hadn't seen Tony's video, Jennifer just put the link. It is cool.
Oh, she did? That's funny. It's actually, he does a good job. He likes making these little movies.
Maybe he should make intros and stuff for people. He's really good.
The star of the movies is always like, the focus is his Christmas lights, because he does this thing where he'll light up like the whole properties of like where he's lived. But he puts a little story around it. And it's just funny.
I love it when he goes, there's grass and there's grass.
There's a lot of grass. Because when we lived in New Jersey, grass was not a high priority for him. And he said, I think it's fair to start mowing when it touches your chin. And
it might be a little hard then.
And I said, I've got dogs. Like when it touches their behind, like their hips. That's my part.
And more grass. I think so too, Jennifer. It would be a really good channel. You and him should collab on a homestead, channel.
It would be nice.
Yeah. Right. And the
He's
flowers. Y'all
he
got
was
asparagus, he said?
what?
Y'all have asparagus?
Yeah, we've got a lot
Cool.
of asparagus like areas, and we so we have to watch videos now on how to do like what do you do with asparagus in the
Uh-huh.
winter or the fall or like even the spring. And so we watch other people who have these homesteading videos. So we'll
Right.
know like, okay, so they said wait till it turns like yellow and then cut it back.
Yeah. And he said y'all had a hazelnut tree?
We have a bunch of sticks over they call it a tree, but it just looks like a pile of sticks coming out of the ground.
Uh-huh.
And it's hazelnuts. And I said to him, he's calling it a crop. And I said, it's for the birds because not one of those nuts was available to a human being. They were all shells and crushed on the floor, the ground. You know what I mean? Like, so all the trees that we have over there that are berrying and nut trees we're not going to be able to eat them. But yes.
City folk going country. There you go.
So, I mean, we have an area where we were growing zucchini and that grew very well. There's another area where they were growing green beans and I suppose it was good, but by the time we got to them, they were a little stringy. But we have 70 blueberry bushes and 70 blueberry bushes is a lot of blueberries. I know that the people who lived the last people didn't really net them and they watered them and they maintained them a little bit, but the people before them were farmers and they put nets all over the blueberry bushes so that they would have a crop. And I asked the guy, like, so what, do you have enough blueberries to eat or do the birds get them? He goes, the birds get a lot, but, and I suppose deer.
I'm trying to put the the heat on just to get the chill out.
Oh boy. I'm not going to fight any bird for those nuts, honestly. I mean, I'm more excited about the blueberries than anything. I hope we can get blueberries and freeze them for the dogs. I mean, I would use a few. I like blueberry muffins.
Right. No, I haven't seen that, Elizabeth. The bird.
Hi, Mr. Stephanie.
Hey, Mrs. Stephanie.
I'll tell you something. Like there's some people who like their scent is pleasant to you even with like nothing, just their human being scent. And there's some people, if you smell them, you think, nah, not for me. When I was in college, there was a handsome man college kid. And when I would go near him, he smelled strange to me. Like, I want to say like detergent, but it wasn't like it was from detergent. It was just him.
Uh-huh.
And I said, wow, that's so weird. Like, I could never imagine being his girlfriend.
Oh, but to his girlfriend, it might smell good. I don't know.
Well, he tried to be my boyfriend, but it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. You can, whenever you get a chance, you can make Mrs. Stephanie blue.
Mr. Stephanie. I forgot.
Mr. Stephanie, did y'all have a good Christmas?
Let's go with. Okay.
I'm sorry, Sean. I was running late this morning.
Mr. Stephanie should be blue.
All right.
He could say hi. Oh, I hear barking. I'll go get the dog.
I should have grabbed it.
That's right.
Me, and he was so good looking, man. So good looking. Anyway.
Huh?
I said I was talking about myself. I said, should have grab it.
Mm.
Actually, I remember seeing a story about that they said that, there's something about the pheromones of people who have different genetic makeups smell good to each other because that way. Hi, Nana. How you doing? Anyway, that's what I heard, that people who like kind of smell good to I've dated some guys that smelled really good to me, and they were not nice people. So what can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Norton the dog. How are
Nana,
you?
how was your Christmas? I hope everybody had a great Christmas.
I did.
I saw Angie snuggling up to that new baby.
Oh, this dog feels cold. My dog feels.
Uh-oh. Did I freeze? Did you freeze?
I've been giving my dog that extra cup of food a day,
Uh-oh.
and he seems huge now to me.
Was that me or you that froze?
I don't feel like you froze or I froze. So
Mm.
must have been you.
Your screen went black and swirly. So how was your dinner at your nephew's? Debbie, inquiring minds want to know.
My TV don't
Well, I'm lost now. What was the Berlin
Hey,
stuff?
Purple Wings.
Oh wait, your friend in Berlin called to see how my dinner at nephew's went. Okay. Oh, so that's what she was asking about. Which Berlin? Hi, Purple.
I didn't post anything.
Nana she had a Florida Christmas. I don't know if it's weird to be in a place that's like, because we had a semi-snowy kind of, it wasn't like snow everywhere, but there was enough snow that it lasted. It's kind of nice, but it wasn't nice when the power went out and I was cold. But other than that, I was so lucky that the guy from the electric company guy was in the next town with his truck, because if he didn't read that email Tony sent, we would still be cold.
That's not good.
Well, the office was closed for Christmas, so it's not like he could speak to anybody.
But that was nice. They had somebody on call.
Yeah, and it was really nice that he was like 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, next town. Last night, I just wanted to make sure my car was full of gas, so we drove around looking to see if anybody had Christmas lights up. Because, we're so Amish around here.
Look. I don't know why it's so washed out.
Is he wearing a little plaid suit?
He is.
How
He
cute.
picked it out.
That's adorable. That's a really cute suit.
I don't know why
Yeah,
it's
but his
so.
face looks like almost translucent. Yes, now I see him. Sideways is better. Oh, he's adorable. He's really handsome.
He
What
is too stinking cute.
What cute. He's very cute. All right, you want to go back out? You go out, and then you're going to cry.
No, look, we had shorts on yesterday for ours.
You had short?
Yeah, and then it started getting like around 60 late in the afternoon after all the rain. Hey, Craig. Because it was raining all day. So now tomorrow I see it's supposed to be thunderstorms, not today.
Well, I started out the day with a ski hat on and a blanket around me, walking around in the house because I was cold. It was cold. When the heat went off, it was cold.
I guess so.
I mean, Tony didn't feel so cold, but I was cold.
Hey, Steph.
Oh, she held.
Oh, wow. That's cool. New little babies are the best. Especially when you can give them back to their mama.
I used to like to do
Nana
that.
wants to know how cold was it?
Okay. It wasn't freezing. It was like in the it started out in the 20s and then it got into the 30s, I think. We've had some days where it was like 7 degrees, Nana. But our electricity went out, and everything we have here that heats our house depends on Penelec. So our neighbor stopped by, luckily, because usually it goes back on in like 3 hours or so. But our neighbors just, the ones that I said I could hear them sneeze when I was on my platform, my deck over there. So she stopped by, and I never met her before. And I said, do you have electricity? And she's like, yes. And I go, oh, we don't. And her husband came down the hill and he said, he goes, I know why you don't have electricity. And I'm like, what do you mean? How do you know? And he goes, I could see that you're, at the top of your pole over there, that your fuse is hanging down and it should be up. And I was like, oh, he goes, yeah, squirrels get at them. And so sure enough, he was right. And then the Penelec guy, when he came, he pointed out the electrocuted squirrel. And then he says, do you want it for supper?
Well,
And I was like, no, thanks. We're good.
hey, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. And then we were joking around about eating squirrel. Like, oh, I know some people eat them and they say they're very
I eat
tasty.
them around here. I don't. But
Well, I know some people in Georgia that were eating them. And he said he really liked making stew. I mean, it seems like a lot of work for a little bit of payback. I mean, there's not a lot of meat on a squirrel, that's for sure. Looks like two bites.
I guess if you're hungry and you can catch
If
you're
really hungry, you're going to be roasting rats. I'm sure it's going to be. You might be eating things you never thought you'd eat. But
I know my husband and them, when they were growing up, they would eat like blackbird gumbo or something.
Wow. You eat whatever kind of protein you probably could eat. I mean, like people.
Oh no, Jennifer.
When
roasted. Yum.
Well, I saw
Have you
that.
tried it, Jennifer?
I saw that on Survivor that these people were eating, like they would try to get fish, but one day they got a rat, and everybody was excited about the rat. It was not fish.
Gross. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, they would eat crow. There was a nursery rhyme about 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. So you need like 24 birds to make an actual meat pie. That's a lot of birds.
That is a lot of birds.
People would eat, small birds if they could catch them, but
I don't know how many they would need because my husband's one is 14. So how many blackbirds do you think they needed?
I've tried squab. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but I was at a Chinese restaurant and I mean squab, and someone said, do you know what squab is? And I said, yeah, I kind of know what it is, but I was hoping that it's pigeon, really. It's a kind of pigeon, I think, and I said, I hope they're not going under the underpasses.
It's not like pigeons you see in the park kind of pigeons.
It might be. Well, I don't know.
That's gross.
Lindsay's getting all.
There's some dirty little creatures. They crap everywhere.
They're really dirty. They're disgusting. I had them roosting on my terrace when I lived in New York City, and after I didn't go outside for the whole winter, and when I opened my door in the spring,
you could have had some.
Blech. Yeah, people go and hunting for little. Is it pheasants or quails and that kind of thing? Yeah. Well, remember you were always saying you like the rabbits, and I thought,
I love rabbit.
I once put some rabbit in my. I put a rabbit meat like in my cart once, and then I kept thinking about all the little bunnies. Put it back.
Let me tell you, rabbit is delicious if you cook it right. Oh my god, it's so good.
Well, I've had rabbit two or three times. I don't know, like in restaurants. It never turned me on. There was nothing about it that tasted good enough for me to want to I would pursue it if there was no such thing as supermarket. Oh my gosh, you talking about the pet pig? I want to show you something. I think I could get it here and show you. I feel like I have a pet pig already, and I don't even have.
Said they had rabbits that were called lunch and dinner.
That's funny. Every day that we drive out of the area, I like to drive by a certain farm because I see this pig. Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
And it's big. It's bigger than Cody.
He's
But
almost as big as Tony. Yeah.
yeah, and it might be bigger than Tony. There's a brown cow that lives in that field also. Like so,
Exactly, Angie.
it's almost as big as the cow.
Yeah.
And so I like to see the pig. I'm getting weird about it. We didn't see it for the past few days, and I'm like, "Where's the pig? I hope they didn't eat the pig."
Hey, Glenn. Yep. You never know what you're going to eat when you get hungry. Never say never.
All right, no, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and even if it was,
Purple said they had 3 cows. They named them Dinner, Dinner, and Dinner. Oh, I get that.
over here, so the lady said, she goes, "Okay, so I'm making supper." And I said, "Oh, so you're making Christmas dinner? That's nice." She goes, "No, I'm not making dinner. I'm making supper." And I go, "I don't understand." And she said, we call our dinner you have at noon." And I'm
Right.
like,
That's what we do here.
"Oh,
Y'all have dinner? Yeah. And it's
dinner is lunch. We call that lunch.
Supper is your dinner.
We always called supper early dinner, and dinner was like the evening meal, and lunch was lunch or brunch. And,
shoot, I didn't make that one either.
and breakfast here, like I said, and breakfast you can eat that in a pizzeria. So
I'm gonna make it, Jennifer, right now.
In New York, you would never have pizzeria, but I put Christmas lights in my husband's beard. Only it doesn't look like. Dawn should look up. She's like, "No, I'm busy." Can you see that I put Christmas lights, like little fairy lights, in his beard? They didn't look nicely spaced, so I tried to take a picture of him.
I'm trying to all right, I'm gonna do it on my computer on another screen. I'm gonna try to split my screen, but it might not work. So I'm here and I'm listening. I didn't set up my Dawn's deals. I've been bad.
I have to try to find me again on YouTube. We'll all just like be occupied with our phones. Well, oh, here we go.
Okay. No, I'm trying to make my live stream for tomorrow.
Oh,
I didn't do that. Y'all, I can't wait till my life gets back to normal, because this is just like not good.
That's why I said when I said I can't send you anything right around now, because I have no vertical, like I have no counter space, or like we have a table we eat on and then the other one is loaded with stuff. I want to like do some art. I feel like I have no place to really do art. And especially the only thing I could do to send a package would be the old fashioned way. Put it in a box and bring it to the post office. And it's going to cost an extra.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm out of like, not until things, I don't know. It seems like it's going to take till next summer till things get normal, maybe.
Right.
Not that normal here. So my husband has a security camera in New Jersey, and he goes, "It looks like there's a package on our steps." He says, "Did you order anything?" And I said, "No." He goes, "Maybe it's a gift." I'm like, "I don't know." And I'm thinking, should I call my neighbor and ask her to go?
Maybe to pick it up so that nobody steals it?
He said it's covered in snow right now.
Oh, shit. That's not good.
I'm hoping it's not something glass. That's all. But people will probably steal it by the time we get there. I don't know. It's sad.
Man, that sucks.
It does suck.
All right, Jennifer, it's created. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate you. I really do.
I do have a lot. Somebody mentioned about body fat. I don't understand. I do have a lot of body fat, but even so, how long, if you have like water from a stream, you could boil it and drink it. How long would it take to use up your body fat? I mean, like for me, I probably could last 6 months to a year, but I'd be really hungry. I'd probably be chewing on grass and worms or whatever the hell. I don't know. Worms smell disgusting to me, so I doubt I would ever do that.
You would just have to like swallow it whole or like
If you
break it in half first. And,
if it
I
ever
don't know.
if it ever comes down to that, it's pretty bad. I'm gonna probably be like eating squirrels and birds.
I don't know, Jennifer. Ask Jeffrey.
Oh, let's not get into that. I mean, look, people in extreme situations like those people that were stuck in the Andes Mountains, like
Oh yeah, they did. They did.
if somebody was already passed away, they ate them, and people were saying, "Oh, it's like a crime against humanity," and I'm thinking, unless you're there and you're starving,
Exactly.
if you're murdering your best friend, that's horrible. But like if they were already passed away, it's not great, but
Right. You do what you have to do.
I guess. I'm not condoning the thought of it, but like end of world scenarios, if you want to try to survive, like there was these guys I was listening to, and he said, if you're stuck let's say you're stuck somewhere where it's very remote and there's nothing around, and he said, you can drink a puddle and you might get like dysentery or sick. He goes, but with no water, you're dead. He said, drink the dirty water.
Well, you can drink your own urine because it is sterile.
Well, you need to have something going in to make the urine. He just said, if you're ever that desperate, he goes, drink the stream water and take your chances, because if you're rescued within the next week or so, you'll be alive. And he said, being alive is more important than perhaps getting like sick, because you're going to die anyway if you don't have anything. So
yeah,
at least drink the water. And I thought about it. I'm like, okay. Now there was a survival lady showing what she did, and she said she ripped part of her t-shirt off and she poured water through her t-shirt. No drinking the pee.
well, they taught us that in nursing school, Jennifer. I mean, you're not going to drink somebody else's, but you can drink yours. Debbie said she could do it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's ew.
I guess if you were desperate enough, you don't know what you're going to do, It's just... Oh, Purple said, nephew said pee isn't bad. I don't want to know. He knows that. That's right. It is sterile until it comes out.
Oh, no, Debbie.
Why would I not be surprised that Debbie said that?
I'm going to ask. Debbie, you sound like a what?
Debbie. Only with tequila.
Little lemon juice, lime juice.
Oh, it's just getting worse.
It's gross. Yeah. I mean, you'd have to be like stuck at sea. You can't drink seawater. You'll go insane. What was Ella selling? What was Ella selling that they were laughing about? I know who likes those kind of showers, but let's not say it out loud. It's not just R. Kelly. There's a lot of men who...
What was Ella selling, Debbie?
Yeah. Somebody more famous than R. Kelly, I think. But anyway, he got all the stories of men being filmed in hotel rooms. Don't think you're not being filmed. Oh my gosh. Any powerful man that would go into a hell.
No, I did. I haven't been seeing any videos.
Yeah, very much in this, true, for real. But some people don't see news like people see. I'm just saying.
Oh, Walmart just said it's time to refill my Ozempic. Do I want it filled? Yes, before the end of the year. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one, Jennifer. Let me tell these people, fill this thing. Yes. Yes.
Oh, Oh, she said golden shower instead of a gold colored shower head. That's kind of funny, but it's true. Yeah, yeah. I guess what you say sometimes, and you don't realize that you're saying the thing.
Right, right, right.
And there's some people that will say, like, they'll make anything innuendo. You know what I mean? Like, you can just say, oh, he has the best. And you can say anything like pencils, and people will be like, oh, you like his pencils. Make it sound.
Right.
I know, like,
Exactly. Exactly. Too funny.
I'm going to tell your husband you like his pencil. It's like, shut up. Rabbits that were bras? I don't get that. Was it like a, kinky outfit, or was it like just little pictures of rabbits on a bra? Because, some of them could be his pencil. Shut up.
Debbie and Max are funny. They come up with some stuff.
That was funny. The Galloping Gourmet used to say, lay your breast gently on the table. It's funny. Yeah, it is funny when people say stuff.
Yeah. Like the pasties bra.
Because people say, like, when, if you talk about, are you a leg man or a breast man?
I know, right?
I hear a dog outside. Who's outside? Was Roxy outside this whole time?
I don't know, but Norton's waiting at that other door for Tony to let him in.
Well, Roxy was outside, so he was being like a doorman. Oh, he could push the door open, apparently. He just did it. Our dishwasher.
I know Bella she hits my mom's door to go outside. She can't get in. But for some reason, when she's got to go pee really bad, she herds me to the door to open it for her. I guess because I used to take her out all the time.
Maybe she wants, like, the praise of, like, oh, good girl. Go pee outside.
Yeah.
Good girl. Because, you should
but
really
now she will knock you down to get out the gate because she got out a couple times by accident. Oh. And now she's, like, stalking the gate for when somebody opens it.
What is this? Is our poodles hunter dogs? Like, were they ever?
They're water dogs? Yeah.
Because I think that there's some dogs. I want to know the list of dogs that don't want to hunt. Because maybe that's mine I should get. These dogs love. Well, Norton would be with us. I don't think he would really run away. But Roxy just enjoys, like, that whole, I'm going to get out and I'm going to go herd some animals and. Maybe I'll catch
Bella
some.
is after the cats. There's like 1 million cats in my mom's neighborhood. The neighbors feed them. And so they keep populating. And Bella ran around the car and the cat was on this side. So I'm trying, and this cat was up on its hind legs, like, ready to strike. And all I could see was Bella's eyes, you know what I'm saying? Going, and I have to go to the vet. But there's cats everywhere. And there's one who, like, antagonizes her. It's this yellow cat. And it just sits there. Or it'll have the nerve to come up to the front door, and just look in.
They do. We had a part of our fence in New Jersey when I had Trixie. And it just had, like, a little bit of a bend in it. And there was a cat that used to sit on that bend in the fence. Like, it was high up. But it knew. Trixie would go there, but she wasn't tall enough to get it, and it would just sort of like, yeah, show me, give me a show dog, because I know you can't get me. But what that cat didn't realize was if Trixie wanted to, she could have climbed that fence and got the cat. But because Trixie used to climb fences, like, I don't know what it is about beagle combinations, because she was beagle golden retriever. She could just figure out. Like that, put her foot like on the crossbar of the fence. That gave her enough boost to grab, like, the next part, and before you're teetering on the top of the fence, and then boom, over and by. And that dog enjoyed rolling in dead animals, and she once rolled a dead skunk. And let me tell you, while live skunks stink on a dog is horrible, but dead skunk stink is extra horrible. Oh.
Oh,
I mean, I'd be like, I grabbed her in my arms and I'm bringing her home and I'm like the whole way. Like,
so, gee, you didn't bring Jet with you to your new house?
so is
Or
Jet?
Jet was a part of the old house, the cat
Oh,
that he was taking care of.
so he goes back and forth now. He must live close to his old house if he's still feeding the cat in a
I think
different.
he said on his way to the post office.
I kind of want to get a basement cat. I don't know. Is that mean to get a basement cat? Just, let him out to like run around the farm and then like sleep in the basement. Is that bad? There's a guy who lives up the mountain from me, and he has a cat.
Oh, it belongs to somebody.
I saw a picture on social media the other day of a sign in the library, and it said, "This is, if you see Max, the cat, don't let him in the library. We don't want him in the library, but he wants to come into the library." And then they had this like sign going forwards and backwards because they, by the door, and then you see the cat looking in under the.
Marie, and when she worked at the SPCA, they had like a few cats outside. And I'm like, Marie, you got cats and outside. And she goes, they're the house cats. Those stay outside.
My cousin has a farm, and he had, I'll say, a couple of cats, like 2, and then it became 3, and then he's all of a sudden there were 5, and then he said, I don't even understand. He goes, at some point it got to be like there were 7 cats, and he goes, I don't know how, if they just find the food or if he thought people were dumping their cats that they didn't like in his yard because they saw that there were cats running around. And he just said, I don't mind maintaining the litter box for like the couple cats I have, but this is just ridiculous.
No, she didn't want a barn cat. She wants a basement cat. It's the same thing if you have an indoor cat.
No, I'm allergic to most cats. Not
get
all.
Get a hairless cat.
What?
Get a hairless cat.
I've seen them, and I showed them to Tony, and we both decided they're hideous. Anyway, I'm sure people love them. They can't survive here in hairless. If they ever got out, they'd freeze to death. Anyway, I don't want a hairless cat, but I want a cat that would catch mice, and I would like the cat to run around and catch. Actually, there's a lot of moles or voles, or I think moles. The guy said up the hill, and he said the cats, there's little teeny field mice, and there's these bigger moles that maybe even chipmunks. I don't know. Chipmunks are kind of cute, but I don't know. You don't want rodents living in your walls. That's all I'm going to say. I know there's wall rodents in my garage. And
that's funny, Jennifer.
that's sad funny.
My daughter has a cat. They leave it in their, like they have a playroom in the back. Like it was a shed and they turned it into like a game room kind of thing. And that's where their cat stays.
Like I said, I used to, Tony's son had a cat. And when I go to his house over there, I would, my nose would get congested, which I'm congested anyway, but like extra congested.
Wow.
And feel instantly like migraine-y, and I knew it was from the cat. I mean,
right.
90% of that was from the cat, probably 10% from dust. But, I've been in people's houses where they've had cats, and only occasionally do I not feel like, oh, there's a cat here. And when the times that I haven't and I've met the cat, I mean, it's possible. Now, there's another thing about cats that I don't like. Like one of my friends had a cat that was soft and friendly and beautiful and sociable. And it was just like the nicest cat I ever saw. And it used to follow you around like a dog, and it would sit like on the chair and watch you do laundry. It was a great cat. And I didn't feel sick from that cat, and I just thought, can I have your cat? But I didn't. But you don't know that you're going to get that cat. I dated a guy who had 4 cats, and one spent 95% of its time hiding in closets or cupboards, like it was out of sight. One was really like just mean, and there was one that was sometimes nice and sometimes mean, and there was one nice cat. But like out of 4 cats, there was only one nice cat.
See what down my street, we didn't have a cat lady, we had a cat man.
Oh.
And then my mom's, it's just all the neighbors, they keep feeding them.
Well, in New Jersey, on the other block, they used to come to my block, but there was an older woman who had passed away, but she was feeding the cats. And sadly, or not sadly, like when she did pass away, the rest of the neighbors made an effort to get the cats fixed. They got them, like, what do they call it, spayed, so they wouldn't keep having kittens, and it stopped. But then the mice population increased catastrophically.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea that all those cats were running around eating the mice. Do you hear Minoran crying?
Mm-mm.
He's standing up. I'm sorry, baby. Do you see him? He's standing
But
there.
he wanted to go in there.
And when he wants to go, when he comes in, he wants to leave. Do you see? He's working his tail.
Just leave the door open.
All right. You win. You get it. Then he wants to leave. Do you think food is in here? There's no food in here. There's no food. What do you think's happening?
Jennifer.
What is Jennifer saying?
She said the feral cats come up, let her pet them. She said her daughter took one of the neighbor's cats, and when the neighbor moved, and the lady kept asking if they seen her cat.
Oh no. Well, I mean, I've had friends who specifically have indoor cats, and they don't want outside at all. And I was a firm believer in the fact that, like, if you live in this kind of city-ish situation where you don't have a lot of property, you should have an indoor cat, because
my daughter-in-law says that their cat leaves them the gift in the middle of their kitchen floor. Like, I don't know if she wants praise because she did it, but that's where she leaves, because they live like in front of like a field. So
because the only thing like beautiful about the idea, I mean, I'm saying beautiful, the best thing about a cat that would be outside is that it might poop outside and catch mice. If it just those things, it's just a cat. And then I don't really want it. I like dogs.
Right. My little grandson came up to me. He goes, Mimi, I'm not a dog person. I'm a cat person. I'm like, what? And I said, and I'm not a cat person, John Paul. I am a dog person.
Well, John Paul gets, big enough that he could have his own place, he could have cats. Right. And that's
they have a cat, and I think, my daughter-in-law said she thinks she's got about maybe 4 good years left in her. Oh. But they always take videos of him snuggling with the cat, and but she said he feeds him and everything,
I think cats that are super friendly to children are nice. Like, I'm telling you, the cats that I've met that live with people, I've met like 2 cats that enjoyed getting touched, by humans. And sometimes, like, you could touch a cat and it'll be like, oh, this is really nice. And then the next thing then they're like scratching on you.
If y'all haven't seen 3 Southern cats, they are hilarious. They have 3 cats.
What's the thing about cats? A lot of times when people have a cat, they have 2 cats. And then
she had 3.
And then once you have 2, it seems like, why not just have 3 or 4?
Right. They tried doing a 4th, but that did not work. One of the cats started plucking all her hair out and everything when they got the 4th one. So she rehomed that one to her daughter. But they're funny. I mean, the lady does a
They,
good job.
she makes them have voices and they have
Yes.
conversations with each other.
And they have personalities and everything. It is so funny.
Well, like everything. I mean, I used to keep when I was a kid or younger, not really a kid even people used to give me their birds when they didn't want them for some reason. So like my parents were painting the house. So they said, can you take our birds? And then they never took them back. And then they ended up, I had more birds. And then another time I just ended up with 2 more birds because people
So
said,
Suzy was
can
the
you
bird
take
lady.
my birds? And they would never come back. And this lady actually saw me in the elevator and she goes, are you the lady that takes birds? And I'm like, no, I go, I do have birds, but I don't want them anymore. I mean, I don't want other people's birds. It's like,
Right.
please don't give me birds. Because, they weren't really like, they had personalities though. They do. They all like, I mean, some of them were really friendly and cute and funny and, but yeah, birds are dirty and they're dusty. I don't want them.
Yeah.
And dogs are hairy. Well, these dogs are hairy. Next dog, I got to get part poodle dog or something. Because
yeah, get you one that don't shed. Although mine will not shed, but they scratch if they're too long. And then they pluck out some hair. Like the hair will just kind of like come out in like a little clump. So
I wasn't expecting this thing to work, but that tea came out really hot. And I made it like at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, so. Okay.
She has a puppy, a little Chihuahua.
I bet that's what it is.
Jennifer, I want to see your puppies. What are you doing? You're just giving them to people or you're selling them? What do you do? I just saw, okay.
You didn't have more, huh? Well, not you, but your dog didn't have more puppies, did it, Jennifer?
So what's the deal? She has some unfixed, and then she has girls and boy dogs, and they're mating. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, those little chihuahuas. You don't get many out of them.
I was watching this farm homesteader type channel, and this woman had an animal. I think it was a goat, and she said, well, we separated the male goats from the female goats by a fence. And she goes, and the goat got pregnant. They had to do it through a fence. That's one determined goat. That's all I'm going to say. That's crazy.
Well, I guess, but she had to want it too to back up to that fence.
Some say, well, they do, I guess. I don't know. Both of them are spayed and neutered, so if anything happened, I'd be really surprised. But they probably.
So, are you planning to get an animal?
Me?
Or 2 or 3? Yeah.
They always say like the starter animal for a farm is chickens, and I wouldn't name them like lunch and dinner.
Oh, well, you name them breakfast though, because you get the eggs.
This is the thing. I kind of would want them for eggs and kind of being pets. But I hear like there's a lot of coyotes, and I don't know if even stray dogs come.
Mm-hmm.
But I was asking my neighbor who's lived here his whole entire life. He's 80, and he lived like on this mountain. And he had a farm when he was a kid up there. And he said they raised beef cattle, but they had like a dairy cow and they had chickens, and he raised chickens. And I said, so what's it like raising the chickens? He says, don't ever go in the chicken coop with bare feet. And I keep thinking it's not a problem.
Nah.
But I don't know.
It's probably because it was so little, Jennifer. Sometimes they don't get enough nutrition when, like the puppy does it. If there was 2, like maybe she didn't have enough resources for both.
Yeah. Well, Greg's a nice guy. But you know, there's some like the guy up the hill. He said his wife had it's a Yorkie, but that Yorkie is very substantial. Like
Uh-huh.
it had like a, I mean, it was pretty big for a Yorkie dog, and it was rolling around on a lot, like in like doing like I'm scratching my back on the rug kind of thing, and anyway, he said that dog was his wife's dog, and his wife passed away. But I mean,
mom's neighbor had a pretty substantial Yorkie. It was, a nice size, not like Yarn.
Well, Yarn's a puppy still, but yeah, some people get these Yorkies that end up being like 5 pounds. This dog looked closer to cat, like 10, 15 pounds,
right.
like maybe 15 pounds. Anyway.
Aw.
But he said that now that his wife had passed away, the dog hangs out with him again.
Oh.
But he says that dog's just showing up. It showed us. She was showing us her toys when we were over. She went to her toy box and was like bringing out toys for us.
Gee, can Jennifer go over there and you take care of her too? She wants to know. I think that might mean, gee, you got to take care of her kids too. Jennifer, are you coming as a package deal?
I thought, Jennifer, do you live with, doesn't she have a man like that she lives with? Boyfriend, husband kind of man? I don't know. You could tell me yes, no, mind my business.
She says she'll help you with eBay.
That's a good deal, though, actually.
Shoot, I might take you in for that, Jennifer.
Yeah. Why not join the club? Oh, he said yes. He said yes. I could, if you ever get married, I can officiate. Just so you know. So, well.
Keep that in mind, y'all. If you need somebody to officiate your wedding, Suzy's your girl.
Yep. I just have to. We have to apply for like the proper paperwork, but I definitely. It's kind of funny. There was a guy who.
She said whatever. She's getting married with Debbie and Andrew.
Okay, you can only legally marry one, and you can live with whoever you want.
Yeah, well, you can do like a contract with the other one.
If you could keep up the upkeep of a plural relationship, as they say, I'm not going to judge because
hey, whatever floats your boat.
You could, as long as it's consenting adults, do what you want, but just don't do it with
triple. Hey, go ahead. I don't know. Can
I thought it was a
keep up with you too?
Triple? Okay. I don't know this Andrew.
This Andrew.
Andrew, where do I find Andrew to meet him? I don't want to.
Your ladies are looking for you.
I'm just being nosy about Andrew. Does he have a channel? Make another sister wife. There you go. You could be the YouTube sister wife. He's lurking. Who's lurking? You or?
I'll watch that. I just want you to know.
Yeah, I would watch it too, for sure. He wants to be married with you? Good.
Well, wouldn't it be a quadruple thing? Because doesn't he have a girlfriend? No? Yeah?
Really? If I was dating some guy and he was flirting with 2 other women, I don't like sharing like that. If I really didn't want him, I guess I wouldn't care. I don't know. Some of these people that have...
Oh, Andrew.
I don't know what's going on in the chat.
We're lost. That's, who has a girlfriend? I thought Andrew has a girlfriend. No?
Besides you two. Sounds like he has multiple girlfriends.
Are you two the only girlfriends?
I bet there's more. I'm gonna say there's probably more than.
Nope, just her and Debbie.
I don't believe it, but okay. If you believe it. I'm pretty sure that if he's like Yeah, he has his little side piece in the real world.
But he has two side pieces.
Maybe. I'm just saying, like, he might be into you two. And, when he's at work or if he's at play, he's
Debbie
like,
says she's bet. Yeah, she's betting he's got way more. He's got no
if he-
girlfriend that
if he's
they
not
know of.
flirty, there's probably people on different different websites.
Wait, does he live near you guys?
Well, Debbie's.
Maybe he lives between you.
What
you
is
know, like
in North or South? You're in the Carolinas. Is it North or South? Anyway, Myrtle Beach is South, I think. I'm not good at geography either. Anyway, and then.
oh, he's really getting married to Debbie.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, yeah, too funny. Kentucky. Okay.
That's pretty far, isn't it? I've driven through Kentucky, and it's right next to Tennessee. So
I've been to Kentucky once. I went to a show, like a market. Hey, Deborah.
hi, Deborah.
And when I had my gift basket business, and it was in Kentucky.
Hi, Jessica. Thank you.
Hey, Jessica.
When I went through Kentucky, I went to a gas station, and that was where I saw the interesting machine in the bathroom that sold different
The
supplies.
vending machine in the
The
bathroom.
vending machine that had a lot of supplies for things. And they
Gotcha.
also sold liquor in the gas station. And I don't know why over here they do as well. I mean, liquor like beer and wine.
Our gas station sell liquor. Shit, we got drive-through daiquiri shop. So
Yeah, well, you're in like almost like I want to say a Sin City kind of thing. You're like the humid Sin City, and Vegas is like the dry Sin City.
no, I mean we're in like a little local parish. We're about 35 miles from New Orleans. So,
but the Louisiana licensing thing includes
mhm.
like New Orleans, and
Yeah.
people go to New Orleans, let's face it, to probably drink too much. And
Yeah, you carry drinks on the street. You
don't go there just to have a nice meal. You go there because it's like there's going to be
It's
music
a party.
and crazy people.
Yeah, drive through daiquiri shop, and you just can't put your straw in it. We went to one time, and they put a piece of tape over the straw hole.
I remember I didn't know what happened to
I
it.
guess it's on the honor system, okay?
Right. There was this ER show, and I never saw I just saw the first one where the guy moved to New Orleans from another place, and he saw that drive-through liquor store, and he was working the ER, and as a new doctor, and he said, "Oh, this is going to be a trip." I could tell.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to have a lot of action.
I didn't get my eggnog daiquiri this year. I'm gonna check it out later. Probably while I'm doing my infusion today. I'm gonna be like an old lady. I'm gonna bring my crochet with me and crochet while I'm getting my infusion.
Well, good. I think that's there was a lady, an Amish woman, who they told me up the hill, they call them Dutch, but I'm going to call them Amish. And she was in her buggy crocheting, and the horse knew where they were going. And I'm like,
right.
Okay. It's kind of
like
nice.
texting and driving, crocheting and driving, right?
Crocheting and buggying.
Right.
But the horses know where they're going. I mean, they go like visit the family members or the school or church. Churches, I thought were churches. They have churches in people's farms, in their houses. And the woman who I visited, she showed me all the benches her husband made, and the feet kind of collapse in, and they look kind of hard and uncomfortable. But it was cool that they had them all stacked up.
The purpose. Yeah.
And
cool.
So I wonder if he's
churches. I just want to ask everybody if you can keep my sister and her family in your prayers. They're going through something medically right now, so please keep them in your prayers.
Definitely. It's
something it's
I know
serious.
She's not here today, and she usually comes. Oh,
I didn't send the link. I was running so behind.
She might not have to find us. because
Yeah.
we're not like.
Well, I left the chat thing that said go to Susie's channel.
Yeah, I mean, I hope
Yeah.
everybody has strength to deal with it and
yeah.
love.
So definitely. I may try to do some kind of benefit or something for them, but we'll see.
Can you do something in the town like you did for the other?
My husband, I think, is going to do a foot. That's my doctor. Wait, hold on.
Okay. The small towns in Louisiana, when they, they really pull through. I noticed for people that aren't doing well. So
That was just auctioneer wanting money. That's all. The hospital.
I just got a lot of bill. Do you know that I transferred my credit card, my main credit card address to here 3 months ago, and they're still sending the bills to New Jersey?
Who's not ready for what?
Crazy. Who's not ready? I'm not ready. Debbie said I'm not ready. Just wish we had to talk about. Oh, Debbie and Jennifer, go. You don't have to be ready. You just talk, and stuff comes out.
Ready to talk what? To do a live?
Did you do a live with no faces or what? I'd like to see.
I may have to do a live on my channel sometime. I don't know. I have the thing tomorrow.
I have to go to the dentist next week again. I've been doing a lot of. I've been trying to get some dental work in.
I'm gonna
have benefit this year.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna grab a thing to share to you guys.
She's scared. Don't be scared.
Who's scared?
Jennifer was scared to show her face. You have a pretty face. I don't know what's wrong. I mean, I've seen pictures of your face. It's a lovely face. Don't be scared of your face. Gonna write a book. Okay.
All right, I'm putting this link in here. If y'all get a chance, check it out. This was this is a group. It's called Blood, Sweat, and Bonfires, and they did a beautiful deer. Oh my God,
it was
gorgeous. And then if you scroll down, it'll show them burning the deer, for the bonfires on the levee, Christmas Eve. I did a little video, but I didn't put it up yet. Now, hey, Nostalgic Picker. It's kind of late to do it, but if y'all get a chance, check that out. It is so cool. And the talent of these guys is unbelievable.
They make such a beautiful sculpture, and then they burn it down, and it makes me feel sad that I'm thinking it would be nice if they just made it like permanent for people to enjoy.
Let me show you if you can see it. This is the deer that they made.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I know. I got mine.
Well, wouldn't you just want to see that? And then they burnt it, which that seems like sad.
I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. Try to make it a little bit. Shoot. There it is.
It is. It's beautiful. And those look like entire tree logs. Is that what that is?
It's all tree. Yeah, it's all tree logs. And then let me see if I can get it. This is them setting him on fire.
I feel sad.
I know. It's a lot of work. And if you go down, it'll show all of their bonfires that they did. Gorgeous work. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, people should get them to do real. Do they call it installment?
I think the guy who designs them's an engineer, and I mean, it's just amazing.
Where's my husband? He's making a video again.
Oh, cool.
but I think it's an outtake video, or it's a video that is.
Tell him to make me an intro.
I busted him for not giving me credit for the photograph. I said,
I think it had your name at the bottom of the photograph.
no, he just said, Merry Christmas from Suzy and Tony. But there was one photograph that did have my name on it that I put, but.
That picture that you took with the snow and the fog. That was absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. That was the picture that I put my name. He said, your name was on it. And I'm like, okay. But all the pictures he showed of the sunset pictures, any still picture was mine. And all the moving pictures were him, even though I took some.
Mm-hmm.
I
got to make sure I don't lose our our thumbnail pictures, because I canceled my subscription to Bizarre, because I do use Photo Room, and I also kept Bizarre because some things that Photo Room couldn't get, they got it, but it's just too much.
Did you screenshot
so many subscriptions? Huh?
Screenshot a general one that you could add words to. You can add words from Snapseed. Snapseed is like a very simplistic photo shop kind of editing.
That reminds me.
And it's free. Free on mobile, not free on a computer for some reason.
Yeah.
But if you work, I don't know.
I saw these on eBay last night. I'm going to put them in my lap so I don't forget to pack them.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, right?
I'm glad somebody's going to get their bloomers for New Year's.
I know, right? I should have said, and I only put that I had one, but because I wanted to sell some, and I sold 2 of them on, what do you call it?
Posh?
Auction.
Oh. I'm guessing Poshmark. Poshmark was so easy for me because I didn't have to write out addresses.
Uh-huh.
It's so sad. And they dealt with the
cool, Deborah.
The postage stuff. Etsy's
Jennifer says, Debbie.
Deborah's doing well on Etsy. Congratulations.
Etsy, I see that.
I'm happy for you.
Jennifer, have you been listing on Etsy? You better get busy because Deborah said it's kicking.
Do they still like people were getting upset because for a while they had
okay, Jessica,
the non-original kind of like mass-produced Chinese jewelry on there, and the nice thing about Etsy was it was like either antiques or handmade stuff. And
Jennifer was calling you, Debbie.
Well, I know that even if we don't mess up a room, there's a ton of dog hair every day that I'm even here that I do I have a mop that you could spray water out of, and it has I don't know. Anyway, it has like a pad that can catch the dog hair. Can't use it here on the little rug that's here, but every day I get like a ball, and they're not even in shedding season. So
Jennifer says she has no dog. All her pets are outside.
Well,
she's all alone. Her mom's not there, so she should have a clean house. Is what
all you have to do is clean down the area around your counter and stove, and you're pretty done. I would think maybe a bathroom once a week or 2 times. I don't know. It's not for me to say how people clean, because honestly, sometimes when I give in to my pain and anyway, I don't want to do anything where I have to bend, and it's sad. So,
right.
The things that I clean are more like counters because I can reach them, but the floors, if I can't get it with the broom, I don't want to be doing it. It's sad. Oh,
she's cleaning out the fridge, throwing stuff out, putting the Christmas tree decor in the other room. There you go.
She's already done with the Christmas tree stuff?
Girl, I used to pick mine up Christmas night. That's how, because my house was so cluttered with the kids and everything when they were little. I'd put it up Thanksgiving night and I'd take it down Christmas night.
I'm keeping that. I want to just say that sucker up front.
I
New
know
Year.
my mom keeps hers through, you know.
Yeah, I'm waiting for New Year's because I know like when my husband, what is it, the Greeks and the Russian calendar, they wait till like, I thought it was January
Right, she
5th.
said just the decor stuff, not the tree.
When is Three Kings Day?
The 6th.
That's what Tony was saying. That's the Advent, right? Is that what they call that?
Yeah. Or like, is that the Epiphany or something?
When is like Greek Christmas?
King's
Or
Day. That's it. King's Day.
okay,
It's the 6th.
Tony was calling it Advent. Deborah, yes. Even if it's a draw or a tabletop, if you try to do like a thing, it eventually gets done. Like on Christmas Eve day, I cleaned off the table we were going to eat on, just so we had a table to eat on, which I felt good about it. It was so stupid. It's one tabletop, but it's so sad. I'm so disorganized. And a lot of times my idea of cleaning is making piles of like papers that I don't know what to do with. And then I move them to another table, which is dumb. Then I make a mess somewhere else. It never really goes away. It just relocates. I have papers next to me that are going to go to we have like a recycling area in our town that we have to bring our stuff to. So I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, it's an Epiphany. And January 6th.
But what about Greek? Look up Greek Christmas or Russian Christmas, because I feel like that should really be. It's usually a week or two after.
Yeah.
I don't know. January 15th. That's my mental time that you could stop celebrating. I feel like some lights should be winter lights because it's so nice. There's I mean, Tony's yard this yard at night when you're coming up the hill and all of a sudden you see the lights. It is kind of like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like really kind of like, wow, because there's like it's dark, and then all of a sudden you see all this color. It's really pretty. But there's a house downtown, and they put like these light balls that sparkle, and they put like lights around the trees.
Yeah.
It's so festive and nice. And then the main parts of some of the towns here, they have like snowflakes on the street poles, like on the light poles. It's just nice to have snowflakes or something. It's just not. It should be wintry, not necessarily Christmassy.
Right.
I like it.
I did that, Deborah, when we were packing. I have a whole box to bring to my booth. I got them all priced and everything already.
If you have stuff you never, ever, ever use, and I got rid of a big box of books too. That was kind of easy for me because if I'm not using it, I kind of mostly I look at the internet for recipes or reference, because I'll say like, how long should I cook of this or that? And then okay, now I know.
I love my cookbooks though. She's gonna do that, Jennifer. 2025. She's gonna count down something, girl. Teresa does the countdown.
Oh, it's gonna keep happening. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They'll say, it's like 363 days.
Or she'll probably count down like Valentine's and Easter. All that good stuff. I'm hoping to be in my house for Easter.
I'm hoping I'm moving all the way moved.
Early? Ooh, is it early or late?
I'm gonna hope. Pray for me if you can pray. If you have any prayers left, pray that I could sell my house by spring or even summer. I just hope I'm completely moved in by then. I thought we were
listening.
What?
Google is listening to me. Talking about I found results.
Google, pray
What
for
do
me.
you consider as early, mid, and late? Nobody's talking to you.
The other day, I had my phone next to the couch, and she said, I'll call them for you. And I'm like, I was talking about Tony's sister, and I'm like, don't call them.
Right.
That would be so embarrassing to have the phone just arbitrarily call people we're talking about. I mean, not necessarily in a bad way, but like you don't want them to hear what you're saying.
Right.
Like just.
Yep. Easter is March 31st, so Marie's birthday. I mean, her birthday's the 30th, but the day after.
It's like we were invited to go to Tony's sister. She lives in like very, very, very north New Jersey. I'll say almost like where New York and Pennsylvania and New Jersey kind of meet. And it would have taken, if we went directly, like 3.5 hours, 4 hours to get there, depending on traffic. But we would have to drop the dogs off. So that meant we would have to almost drive 3.5, 4 hours to our house, then drive an hour to her house, then do the party, then go back to our house. And it's a lot. It's a lot for one day. And then, maybe we'd stay a night or two over there because we'd just be exhausted and then we'd come back. But, I don't know. It's a lot. We didn't do it. But her house she usually decorates beautifully. It's just really pretty. I miss that aspect. I don't miss the aspect of driving hundreds of hours. I feel like it's hundreds of hours. I get anxiety in the car. It's hard for me. Yeah. If we hit traffic, it's like it's all like trucks, dodging trucks. And then we would have had to use my car because Tony's truck's in the shop. And oh boy, if I had to drive and I had to drive.
But Tony's not allowed to drive your car?
I don't know. He can, but I prefer to drive my car. He prefers to drive his cars. And
I get it.
I can't drive his little red car because it's stick shift. No. The door's open and there's still a door here. Mr. Jordan? He still did, Mommy. You're nice.
Glenn, that's so true. It is very scary. I think Suzy and I were talking about something and it showed up on your phone.
Jennifer, so it's Jennifer saying, so you didn't do anything yesterday? No, we, like on Christmas Eve, I made a pork roast. And I made this is sad, but if I make more than 2 courses, I feel like it's a big deal. So we had salad and mashed potatoes and a pork roast. And it was big, actually. So I thought we'll have leftovers. But we had no power for the morning into the afternoon. But we had already decided we weren't going. Yeah, at that point. Anyway, it was just a lot. And it's cold and there could be ice on the road and
right.
Tony drives faster than I drive. And then he's so he's sitting in the car when I'm driving and he's like, you're off to the right. But my car gives little bing bongs and the lights will flash if I'm hitting too far to the edge. His doesn't, but he's doing it too. So we're both almost complaining about each other's driving. And if I have to I don't know how my car works because it's relatively new. So I'm like, make it hotter, make it colder.
Right. I hate when I have to drive Marie's car because it's so different. She's got a Ford, I got a Chevy, and it's just so different. I'm looking for the controls of stuff.
Okay. If people I didn't tell people, but to register my car in New Jersey, it would have cost me around $300 between the licensing and registration. And then something else. Oh, the title. We would have to buy the title, the registration of the car that I didn't want anymore. And I would have had to get it checked out to just drive it 4 hours. So that would have cost me a lot of money. So we did just the minimum amount of repairs to make it. I know it's sad, but we did a whole clean of it. We polished the headlights, and we made sure the air conditioning was working, and I vacuumed out and I cleaned everything. And I just took it to a place that buys cars, and they sold my car in New Jersey, so I didn't have to do anything in Pennsylvania. And over here, the tax is less, so I got a car to use over here. So I don't know how it works. And sometimes I'm driving his truck, and sometimes I'm driving this car, and I still remember driving my old car. And it's like, I just don't know. Sometimes it's like, turn on the, he's like, once he said, do you have your bright lights on? And I'm like, I didn't even know I have brights. I thought they just adjust. But then I'm like, so I see like, okay, oh, I do. It like, it moves up the light beam a couple feet. But anyway.
Look, I took my sister and them to the hospital, and I drove their car. And we leave, and it was nighttime when we're leaving. And my brother-in-law was like, you don't have the lights on. I'm like, you don't keep it on auto? He's like, no, I never turn the lights on. Oh, Lord. And
it's a calamity. Tony's car is still very old now. And it's in the shop because we took it in for new brakes, but they said like there was a spring that was near the brakes that they had to like redo. And since they did one, they said we did both, because like you don't just do one, you have the springs on both. I don't know how cars work. I know they need like pads and anything. So anyway, they didn't bleed the line enough, and he said he didn't feel like he had brakes going home. And I was like, so we took it back, but it's been a week or more, and for several days we drove by the shop, and it was in the same parking spot. And I said, you want to make a bet? They didn't even look at it yet. They already got your money. They're not going to be in a rush.
Right.
It's sad.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Anyway, I'm hoping they do fix it. Oh, his 4-wheel drive wasn't going on, so I want him to have that. So I'm going to say something. Out the window, I'm looking. For the past 3 days in a row, a hawk has been perched on the same perch during the day. And as soon as I get out my camera, he flies away.
Maybe it might have babies.
Maybe.
Somewhere close.
I mean, we used to see a hawk down the road, always on the same line by the road, like I don't know. I mean, it's Amish farms. Is it power? Is it like, I don't know what it is. Anyway, some kind of like wire that a bird can sit on. It's always in the same spot. So this bird seems to like that.
Oh, no babies in winter?
I think some deer were having babies up until a little while ago. I know that because I saw a baby deer. And squirrels have babies around now, so that they're big enough when spring comes that when they leave the nest, they can run around and get away from predators, because they look like almost like, I mean, they're small, but I
guess no bird babies.
No bird babies. Eagles, though, they have the eagle nest watches, and they're sitting on their eggs in winter. Like they'll be sitting and covered in snow. If you ever can see a live cam for eagles, look at it.
There's a eagle's nest, and it's been in that same spot forever. But you can only see it from interstate because it's kind of in the swamp, but you can see it. And it's this like kind of dead tree, and it's perched up there. And one of my patients that I had, his son actually got pictures of it, but you got to stop on interstate to do it. Not very safe.
There used to be an eagle's nest in like a cell phone tower. Bald eagles. I used to take pictures of it. And I knew
that's what that was.
There, in the Jersey Shore area, there's a lot of osprey. And it's right now, in the past couple of weeks, they've seen snowy owls along the beach. So the photographers that have the really good lenses, they don't let you get near enough to them, but like they'll say, someone got a picture of the bird sitting on a sign that said "Keep off the dunes," and the bird sitting on the dune sign. Anyway, it was kind of cute.
Okay.
But it's
Oh.
just exciting. I always wanted to take a picture of owls. Most owls are not flying around in the day. I hear them. I just have never seen one. I saw one in New Jersey, and I've taken pictures of the snowy owls. The pictures aren't. I mean, they're okay, but like the people that have lenses the size of a leg get better
Right.
shots, obviously. I mean, you know, my lens might be this big, but they're. I'm not going to spend at this point. People spend like $10,000 on a lens. You must be making a lot of money on your photographs if you could expend that on a lens or be rich. I mean, you could just be rich somehow. I'm not rich.
But you know, people spend a lot of money on hobbies.
They do, but you know, there's like you save up for 2 years, and some people just spend it, and then some people have to save up for a long, long time,
Right.
and justify. I mean, this year I just had a lot of expenses in general, like the furnace and the fridge and the oven, and you know, too many things, like the car, so much. So it's like, you know, I'm not gonna go up. What I really want to, I would like the mirrorless cameras because they're lighter and smaller. You kind of stick them in your purse or your pocket. Like the DSLR setup that I have, they're so heavy. And the lens I want that I could capture wildlife with, you know, you need to have either a monopod or a tripod. You need the big lens. You need the camera. It's heavy. It's expensive. And mostly I just keep complaining about the heavy because the lens alone is nearly 5 pounds. And it sound like a lot, but if you're walking around with like 10 extra pounds of gear, it just takes you down if you're hiking through various areas. Anyway, for me, I used to keep my camera around my neck, and it's a lot.
Yeah, they do get heavy after a while.
So the little mirrorless setups, the thing about them, I mean, the companies designed it that they would take different lenses. And, you know, if you've been doing photography for 10, 15 years and you have lenses already, what, you're supposed to just give up? Wow. Yeah, that's a lot for rifle scopes. Anyway, there's a lot of things on our lists, you know.
Tell me about it.
I know. Like, I don't want to go into it. Some of the stuff you're not supposed to talk about. I mean, you know, like, anyway, there's a lot we need. When people are talking about, so the generator, I mean, but by the time you're done with your generator, you know it's going to be 10 to 15 grand.
They have those. Everybody here gets Generacs because of, you know, the hurricanes and stuff, that they're so expensive. And then the power company here wasn't prepared for that many Generacs, and the gas company or whatever. So during the last hurricane, a lot of people couldn't use them.
Here they work on propane. And I made some stupid statement. And I said, how come they didn't put out like natural gas lines to here? And then Tony's like, he goes, do you think they're going to run 6 miles of gas lines to your farm? He's like,
Right.
they're going to, I just said, what are they going to charge you? Like,
That's a lot.
Stupid number. I said like 300 grand. He goes, try like 3 million. They're not going to do it.
Right. Well, you know, we had gas. Well, we had to have them pull it all up to the road. And she told me it was going to cost about $2,000 or more to have it run back from the road, maybe 4 feet to where I needed it to get it back. So the guys, they do all electric, because then it takes 2 months for them to come and do all that.
So add on, like, so think about 7 miles of that.
Right.
It's going to be like,
exactly.
You'd have to be running a big business or something, because you know,
right.
no. So I guess we just have like a very big propane tank outside, and even the restaurants near here have big propane tanks because they they just didn't put natural gas. And the lady up the hill said, I have 2 propane tanks. I never use more than one a winter. She said. But she has a big generator, and they had the small portable generator. That's the small one they brought here for us to try to
My
use.
husband said, "Oh, you going to the dog pound today?"
Don't. Wow.
Wow.
No. Yeah, I would use my well for free for sure. $25,000.
I just don't know if I'm going to be able to cook on electric. I'm so used to gas.
Is it going to be like a smooth top?
I don't know. I don't know nothing.
The smooth tops are
Problem
nice.
is,
You'll like it.
when you bake with electric, it is so much different than gas.
But the PSE&G, which was the gas in New Jersey, when I first moved there, I had gas, and then I got electric there. And I said, I don't know if I'm going to get used to it. And he said, my wife's a baker, and she loves her electric stove, her oven. And he goes, he said it's great for baking. And I go, okay. And I got used to it. What?
I said, so is gas.
I got used to it. I like it. And it's a lot easier to keep clean if you have one of those surfaces. You just take that little spray bottle, whatever cleanser you like, and you use a microfiber, and you're done. It's nice. I like it. Anyway, I'm not saying if I was like a real chef, and like you said, like you want to adjust the flame to just right, and you're used to that, you have to get used to knowing like what setting be cooking on. Like, oh, that this oven is hot, this stovetop's hot, so I need to know I can't put it at full blast. I need to know I got to put it at medium.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Elizabeth,
she hates her smooth top. I had the one with the coils when I first moved here, and I said, I just can't. It's not. It's like it's uneven, and it was making me nuts.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know the coils go bad easily, that you have to replace them.
I'm not gonna start fighting with people about what's better. I'm not saying it's better. I'd rather have had natural gas or maybe even the propane, but given that I only had electric here, I wanted the smooth top.
Yeah, I don't want to wait an extra 2 months for my house. I'll take it electric.
I'm just saying you'll get used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. It's just,
I felt like it was more work making it clean, the coil thing. And I was pulling them out and like spraying it down. The smooth top is nice. And in New Jersey, I was using it as the place I clean it, and then I would like do my like weighing the packaging. It was sad. Tony's like, you just like it because you make it a countertop, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be a surprise. I don't know what we're getting. Who knows?
Well, I hope you get a flat one. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, and so
I've been cooking at baking at Sabrina's and cooking there, and she has a flat top.
My realtor sent me an email on Christmas Eve, and he goes, I have a present for you. I'm going to offer my discount for General Electric appliances. And I'm thinking, well, thank you. 2 months too late, man. Because everything.
Wait, your real estate agent said that?
He manages some buildings.
Oh, okay.
And he gets a discount. Like if you buy the suite of appliances, it's like, I told you, it's not much more money to buy 5 appliances as to buy 2.
Right.
So he gets a discount off of that. And so he said, I always, like, if something goes bad, just make everything new and sell the other ones on Marketplace, whatever.
Right.
And so he says, I get a discount. And I said, can I have the discount? And he said, I can't. So he said for me, I have a present for you. And I'm thinking, dude, I've already replaced the ones I wanted to replace. So
right.
Too late. and I already spent too much. So whatever.
Yeah.
But thank you. I should say thank you for, can't use it. I wonder if I could get the, anyway, never mind. I was, I meant like discount for other people.
Yeah. Get it.
It's, you know, people think like, oh, it's only this, it's only that, it's only this, it's only that. At this point, it's like, and then, you know, the oil company comes and they pre-bill you what they think like a tank of oil should cost.
Mm-hmm.
And they took the money out of Tony's account and it was something like $700. And he said he looked and he had zero money in his checking. And he's like, wait, I never paid more than like $300-400. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then he called the company and they said, well, we'll refund you. And he's like, yeah, I got other bills.
Wow.
It's sad.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. It's dumb. So anyway, he has to get off of that like prepay thing.
Yeah.
That's not worth it. So anyway, I'm looking at my mountains. So like when the guy said, so how do you like living here? And I said, it's really beautiful. And he's like, and he just thought like that's the reason why you like it. And I'm like, well, why not? Why can't I like it? Because I can see mountains from my window.
When they make you happy.
It's just like just not looking into someone, you know, in New Jersey. I mean, look, when I was sitting down at that platform and I heard the lady sneeze and I yelled, God bless you. But like in New Jersey, you hear everything that the neighbors are doing.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much. I mean, the dogs are howling, you hear it. Like she's yelling at her kid, you hear it. It's just, you keep the curtains drawn, you keep the blinds down. You know, you don't want people looking in so you don't look out, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I like now that I can look out.
Well, that's nice.
Because nobody's really going to be looking in from here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah, you can't do that. The auto pay is bad. If they're going to just suck out all your money.
Yeah.
Then pay something else. It's frightening. So then he's like, I had to set up like overdraft protection. And I'm thinking, why didn't you have overdraft protection? Like, I don't know. It's just me. We have different philosophies about how to handle money. Because I said, how are we going to work it out? Like being married. And he's like, oh, well, I'll just keep what I have and you keep what you have. And I'm like,
right. You don't have a weirdo drone, she said, neighbor.
Yeah, Tony would be the weirdo drone neighbor. Anyway, he has a little toy drone that takes pictures, and he was taking pictures of the Christmas lights for that movie or the video he made, and
Hey, Carol.
it ended up in the sheep field.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, I
Merry
said,
Christmas to you too.
good morning and Merry Christmas, Carol. So the Amish are not, so far as I know, using drones. But
So did he get his drone back?
He got it back. But it was close to the fence. He said he took a stick and he dragged it close and he grabbed it. They don't, they would not care if he walked through. He just didn't want the sheep stepping on it.
Right?
Anyway. I thought it'd be really cool if he got a better one. Before all this New Jersey drone stuff was going on, I just thought if he got a better one and he could like go straight up and get a view of the mountains and like the property from all the way up there and like at night see the lights, it would be really cool because it's really dark around here. So, but
who's that guy? He used to go to Victoria's channel. He did drones in different areas and stuff.
Two drone guys.
Video was beautiful.
There were two drone guys, and it's just that. So I said, like, why don't you get it's the same thing, like get a better one so that you have more control over it. But then he'll think like I'll still crash into trees or it'll fall down. She
Yeah, I mean, as long as he doesn't invade somebody else's, privacy.
there's I agree. The lady up the hill said to me, I used to live in the town over, there. And she goes, we got married. We had a trailer down there. And she goes, and people would walk by and look in your windows. And she's like, I hated it. She goes, that's why I like living up here. Because there's nobody to look in your windows. And I'm thinking, I get it. I totally get it. Like when you live in a town that's very populated, that's what people are going to do. They're going to be walking by with their kids or their dogs, and they're going to look and they're nosy. So,
well, I mean, if you have your curtains open at night, you can see clear in like you were there.
We sometimes don't put the blinds down to the main road. And he says, what are people going to see? You're just going to be a figure. And I'm like, they see. Believe me, they see. And that's why I was making jokes about the snipers. Like, I want to keep at least the one that like is by where we're sitting down. Anyway, I don't
really. She said you supposedly need a drone license to use the footage in videos.
I know that the slightly bigger ones than he has, if they're a certain size, they need special lights that blink so that they're FCC compliant. I think it's the FCC. Or is it the FAA or the FAC? I don't know. Whatever the federal stuff is, you need special lights. I don't know.
They must do they make you do that like when you buy it, like they do with guns and stuff? Do they make you buy that license for that drone when you buy it?
There were drones sold in every store around here, and they did not mention anything about like the license to get it. But like in the sporting goods store, they have like that rifle area, and they had like aisles and aisles and aisles of I'll call them freedom pellets. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say that. I shouldn't say the words, but like stuff gets like crazy. People say like you're not supposed to talk about stuff like that. The people are hunters here. There's like hunting season that where you can use pew-pews for like rifles for 2 weeks or a month and there's others that like could use, I don't know what they're called, it like fancy bow and arrow thing. I don't know.
Right.
And like Daryl in The Walking Dead. That kind of stuff. And I don't know. I know if you fish, you need a license, which seems like almost weird because you're standing in the middle of a stream. They should have a fishing season, but do you really need to have a license to catch a fish?
Oh, girl. There's like this show. It's like the wildlife and fisheries in Louisiana. It gets crazy. I mean, to watch that show. But yeah, like if somebody's fishing on side of the road in one of the canals or whatever, they stop and check them.
I know that they do. I've seen people get checked in certain spots, but I'm just saying it's so. Well, people do like. I guess it would get really crowded, and then maybe people would be like even crowding each other, and then people be parked halfway into the street. But the roads around me, when you go like 2 miles down the road, it becomes not a real road, like a dirt road, which is a real road, but it's not paved. You know what I mean? Like it becomes like sometimes it's gravel, sometimes it's just dirt, and the woods are woods. I don't know.
Really?
Area. What?
Glenn says game wardens have more power than the state troopers here.
Okay. I was watching some show about, it was a while back. It was one of these series where the guy was a game warden, and people who illegally trapped animals will try to kill these guys. I shouldn't. It was on a show. It was fictional, but I'm sure it's based on stories that might happen in reality. Because I don't know, but I think like you should respect nature, and if you're gonna hunt to feed your family, that's okay with me. But if you're just for sport gonna arbitrarily like
they had this guy who had a deer and didn't have a license, or his license wasn't up to date. The warden took that deer and they donated to like a needy family or something. And they showed him bringing it to a family. Or they'll do the same thing with fish. They'll take your fish if they can't be released back. They'll take them and give them to somebody in need.
Well, that's good.
So, I mean, at least it's not like a wasted something, like they just take it, whatever.
There was a town in New Jersey that was a sort of, I'm going to say fancy town. I mean, like, it kind of like the price range of the houses was pretty high. And they didn't like the idea that there were so many Canada geese. I don't think they call them Canadian. They just call them Canada goose or something. But anyway, the Canadian geese that were inhabiting the local ponds were pooping all over the parks. And so they said at one point they were just going to round them all up and gas them. And I was like, and people were so up in arms about it. And I don't like the idea of it either. But because I thought in some towns they were going to start giving them to needy families. But then somebody was saying they're not good to eat. They have like too many, I want to say worms. I don't know. Some kind of parasites. I don't know. But anyway, it would be nice if you're going to unless like the animal population is very sick, because a park in New Jersey had a lot of beautiful foxes and some of them got mange and then they were spreading it all around. So to control it, they took them all away. And I don't know how they or what they did, except they were gone. And they just recently came back, which is nice to know. But
I don't think so, because we went to a campground and it was a private lake. And they had said we didn't need a fishing license to fish there.
the geese up around here don't migrate that much, or at least the ones that are the Canadian kind don't. They stay. They've decided to stay. They say,
what is that noise? Must be the garbage truck emptying those dumpsters out there. You can hear.
There's, I think, like when there's hunting season, you need a certain size property to be able to like hunt on it, and or I don't know, like there's certain rules about if you can even just do target practice.
Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
You too.
I think, yes, I hope you did as well. I think you need a license just to do target practice as well. But what do I know? Yeah, they do crap everywhere. When I was taking the dogs for walks in parks that had the geese, I kept saying to Tony, don't let them step in it. I don't want them getting parasites from the poop. It was hard to navigate a walk on some of those parks.
Oh, the post office here where my shop is, they used to have ducks. I haven't seen them lately. And they crap all over the sidewalks. And it's like crazy.
It's kind of crazy. I was trying to think of what somebody said, some animal that they were, it was somebody had a video of these deer coming to their, to their house.
Yeah.
Snow was all over them. And then someone made a comment, oh, we have that every day. They go, and we also have lots of deer poop every day. And yeah, you're going to have it. They don't wear diapers, and they're not.
Right, Debbie? I went on a picnic with a friend when I was in school. It was a lot of years ago, and there was a bunch of geese around. And then we started to eat our little sandwiches, which was probably like peanut butter and jelly. And anyway, the geese started coming close, and I'm like, they're not going to stop. They're coming too close. So we picked up our books, we picked up our blanket, and we went running. And then they started running, and they were chasing us.
and it was like, what are we gonna do if they catch us? Like, it was crazy.
Deborah, that would be great content, girl.
This was before people had cell phones, so nobody would have been taking pictures of these geese chasing us. But it would have been a funny video. I'm sure of it. We ran really far. It was back in the days when I could run. It was a long time ago. Oh my gosh. It was in the 80s. Can you imagine? It feels like, I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
I know. Because I'm old. People, when I say stuff like, oh, I went there in the 80s, and people look at me like, what did you do in the 80s? Like, because they're born in, like, I don't know, the zeros? What are they?
Right. Or you say something about something and they go, what is that?
Yeah, people show, like, things that they think other
Sean
people.
gave me a red Lifesaver gummy.
That's nice. He's a nice man.
They knew I like the red ones.
Well, if it came to Starburst, if we could trade like orange and pink for the red, I'd be happy to do it. Hey, I see that hawk flying around a lot. I wonder where he lives. I'm calling it a he. Could be a she. I don't know. It's not like they have anything you could look at. Hard to know. Well, anyway, does anybody here go on Threads? I know Jane was following me on Threads, but
I saw the app to download.
It's like Instagram, but you could put pictures and stories. So I started posting some stories, and when I did that, I got such a jump up in like followers. It was crazy. Like the photography didn't really help me much, and I thought that's usually when I started posting just photographs on Instagram, my followers like went through the roof, and here, not so much.
Oh, mine got away last week, Carol. I know that feeling.
Yes, our dogs ran out a couple of weeks ago when somebody was dropping something off at the house, and they've never dropped off another thing at the it was such a calamity. It was like one thing after the other. Then I ended up falling on my face, my knees, and then my face. And I'm just starting to think like I can almost turn my head again. It's horrible. Yeah, we're real.
Mine stops, and when you get close to her, then she takes off again. Oh, that makes me
like
so mad.
Almost every dog that enjoys running does that. Oh, Norton, thank you, jumped into the car, and I trapped him in the car. But the other dog,
Yeah, if I open the car door, sometimes she'll go in there. But
Roxy's like, yeah, no, I want to investigate the neighborhood. I heard other dogs barking. Let me go see what they're like. Somebody around up the mountain and over a little is raising dachshunds. So they had like a whole little pen of puppies, and those are cute dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're short. They must get really messy in the snow though, right? Because they're only like 3 inches off the ground. How are they going to eat the snow in Pennsylvania?
Yeah. My daughter has a short hair dachshund, and he's big. She's big.
I like the ones with the long hair. Every animal with long hair is attractive to me. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like it's the one thing I hate about having the dogs is picking up the hair. And every cat I see with long hair, I love it. Every dog with long hair, I love it. It's like, I've had 3 of them. I know they're really loving, and somebody said they like to like go under the covers. So if you have like blankets on your couch, you're supposed to look first before you plop down because you don't want to sit on your dog. Oh, that's sad.
Oh, that's crazy. Jennifer said one ran away and she got it a few weeks later with a found ad online.
Oh. I would be beside myself. That's all I'm gonna say. I was getting really frustrated with Roxy always trying to get out. I go, you think it's better out there? Why don't you go? I was ready to like let her go and see what would happen because she's always following me into the areas that have like doors. And she's poking her head. She gets like locked into the air. Like we go out through the laundry area and she's always getting locked in that little space because she wants to get out of the house.
Right. We used to, my very first standard poodle, she would stalk the door. And when the kids would go out, she'd go out and she would run. She was hard to catch.
Roxy runs. Trixie was worse, but we contained her. Anyway, they have a little fenced in yard here that I just open the door and they go in there and they run around it and they come back in. But it's a little smaller than our yard. That fenced in spot is smaller than our yard in Jersey. And so we have that little deck that's off the house, like 100 yards away, or maybe 100 feet rather. And we tie them up, but.
Right. Oh, well, that's good you took them both. He said he had 3 Dachshunds. He had one for 14 and a half years, and then he adopted 2 of them, and they didn't want to separate them.
That's nice.
She's the best. Yours is the fastest Chihuahua you've ever seen. They can run fast when they want to get away from you.
Tony went to Puerto Rico once without me. I mean, he was with somebody else. Anyway, he said that there was a property that had a lot of Chihuahuas on it, and they had like kind of fences that were made of brick. So they would be up on the fences growling, and a couple of them would jump off and run after you. And he just said he never in his life figured he'd be like running away from Chihuahuas.
Oh, yes. The neighbors down the street. That's what they would, like try to get them to chase you when I was little.
Ouch. Ooh,
she said it was the fattest Chihuahua she's ever seen.
My friend adopted a Chihuahua that was very chunky, and she was very friendly, and she'd run around in circles and then go like jump, like climb you, like lick your face and then jump off. And I said, she's like a torpedo. And the only way she could get her to stop running was to just like throw her on her side and then like hold her in place for a second. So she just like calm down. And then she would almost like start to fall asleep. This dog was so hyper. It was crazy. And they named that dog, I think it was Cookie. So when I was young, between Cookie and Chico, it's like almost every dog I ever met was a Cookie or Chico. It was funny.
Oh, my dogs are beggars, Jennifer. Bella will put her head on your lap and she just looks at you like. And then Precious is on the floor going,
This one. He puts the head on the lap and he like stares you down. And I'm like, I tell Tony, I go, tell him to go back up. Like get away. Like I don't want him in his face. Like, if he's eating a sandwich and he's watching a show, I don't want the dog to have his head like 2 inches from his plate.
Right.
It's like, I said he's got like a giraffe tongue. He can go, and it'll be gone.
Yeah, Bella's gotten that brave one time, almost grabbed my food out my hand. And I'm like, really?
He did it once. Like I was walking. I give them, like out of the refrigerator, I'll hand them a carrot sometimes when they're acting like I haven't fed them in a year. I mean, like they get fed like normal amounts of lots of food. But so I give them a carrot. And I'm thinking, someone said that carrots are really good to help them clean their teeth. They like them, and it's not fattening. So I'm like, I'm good with it. But
right.
They would much rather have a piece of a ham sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Oh, definitely. Oh, and break out the cheese to cut. Like if you had a block of cheese to cut your cheese up. Oh, they're ready for their cheese tax.
Our dogs want pizza crust, but I don't usually feed them carbs like that at all. They're not usually, you don't. My cousin got very mean to me. Like when she heard that I gave them pizza crust, she's like, they're not supposed to have carbs. It's not part of their regular diet. They're like wolves. Wolves don't eat carbs. And I'm thinking, if a wolf got into a garbage can from a pizzeria, it'd be eating carbs. I'm 100% sure of that. But
Mhm.
they would rather they eat the innards. They'll eat a whole rabbit. I know
Mhm.
that. Anyway, I'm rolling my eyes. Yes, it's not their natural diet, but
Right.
I think like the once a month that they get a tiny piece of a pizza crust, it's not so bad. But for a while, I was being very strict with them to not have it because I didn't want them begging. That was the most of the reason.
Yeah. But they can't have onions at all because that's like toxic.
There's a there are some animal nutritionists I watch on TV who are dog oriented, and they give their dogs garlic a lot. It's just, I think it was a myth, or they weren't eating like the flower of the plant. That is not, anyway. Onions are bad, that's for sure.
Onion, raisins, grapes.
There you go. Raisins and grapes are terrible, and dark chocolate is very bad. But there's a calculator, just so you know, as a public service announcement. The Merck manual has a calculator for the size of dog and the kind of chocolate and the amount they consumed, and you could know if you need to go for like emergency medical, or
Mhm.
just make the dog throw up or ignore it. I mean, like they can have one milk chocolate, like chocolate chip, and it's not going to send you to the emergency room. But if they consumed like a big chocolate bar of dark chocolate, it
Mhm.
might need some attention.
You know,
So,
when Bella ate that chocolate, they asked me what brand it was
right.
because certain brands, I guess, have more concentrated chocolate.
Right. I think if it's like that bark from, like, Walmart sells a bark, and I don't think there's a whole lot of natural.
Right.
It's like lesser cocoa than like a Ghirardelli one kind of thing.
Right.
I
Right.
think, yeah, they want to know that stuff.
Yeah.
Is it late? Oh, it's noon. They go on at
Yeah.
noon, right?
Yeah. And yeah, they usually go on at noon, but I got to get, because I have to go to my infusion.
Well, good luck with that.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about the faux pas this morning. It's just, I don't know. I have to figure out what's going on with my StreamYard. Right. That's true. That's true, Carol. So, all right. We will see you next week. I think back here then. This is your regular scheduled.
Is next week here. All right. We'll see ya.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye,
See you
take
later.
care. Enjoy. Take care.